Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be continuing my stash busting series. In case you don't know, I have a goal to get through as much of my stash as I can. I'm on a yarn buying ban, I have too much yarn, as you can see. So I am trying to get through as much of my yarn as possible. I've been doing a roll for scrap series on my channel and we're going to continue that today. Let me know if you're getting sick of these. They're really fun for me and they keep the decision fatigue at bay. I'm really enjoying them. And today the pattern that we're going to be doing is the Wavy sweater by 1/3 Crochet. I saw this sweater on her Instagram page and I was like, I need to make that. That's so cute. And I think it's going to lend super well to the scrappy look that we're going for and the stash busting series as a whole. Right now, I don't think you can actually currently buy this pattern. Brooke said she's making some updates on it, so if you want to make the pattern, go pressure Brooke into finishing that. I'm just kidding. She's a busy gal. She's a busy gal. It'll get done when it gets done. But anyways, that's the pattern we're going to be making today. Okay? Just looking at the pattern, it looks like it calls for lighter yarn, DK or lightweight. I don't have a ton of that in my stash, but I have some, so I'm going to pull what I have, and I'm just going to pull a bunch of random colors. I think I'm going to kind of go for the same vibe as my scrunchie bag, if you saw that video. So we're going to just do random colors and just pick as much of the lightweight yarn as we have. I'm going to go pick out some colors. I will show y'all what we're working with. Go from there. Okay, I'm back. I feel like I say this about every single project I do, but picking the colors was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And especially because I don't have a lot of lightweight yarn, and I especially don't really have a lot of like sweater quantities of lightweight yarn, so it was a struggle. And I said I was going to go for kind of like the colorful scrappy vibes, but I changed my mind a little bit. We're going to do kind of like green and purple, so I'll show you. Okay, so first off we have this light purple. This is Loops and Threads rayon from Bamboo. It's very slippery, but I really like it. It's like silky. Okay, next up also the rayon from Bamboo, by Bamboo, whatever, Loops and Threads, this magenta color. Alright, we have the Fiber Natura Radiant Cotton in this butter yellow. I really love this yarn. Okay, this is, I want to say it's Barocco, but I honestly don't know, and I think it's a wool blend, but again, I honestly don't know, but it's in this maroon color, and I tried to make a tank top out of this, and then it was a fail, and I haven't used it for anything, so. Okay, next up, I'm going to be using the Kaboo in this olive color. Alright, and then because I'm fully aware that I don't think I'll have enough for a sweater quantity of yarn, I'm going to be using, this is Pound of Love Lion brand, so I have a ton of it, so we can always fall back on it, but yeah, I have a bunch of this, and this cake is very ugly. And then we also have, this is Big Twist in like the Heathered series that they have in this like light green color. Okay, so we got the purple, we got the green, and then to tie it all together, I found, this is Red Heart Unforgettable. I've like never heard of this before, but I must have gotten it as a hand-me-down from someone. But it's got like the greens and purples in there, and I think it's really pretty. Didn't know I had this. I'm excited to use it, so I'm gonna use that. Okay, so that is 8 colors, so I'm gonna just grab a D8, and I'm not gonna make a gauge swatch because all of these yarns have such variations in weight that I kind of think it's pointless. So I'm just gonna make a size large because I'm usually between a medium and a large, so I think that if I just make a size large, I'll use the recommended hook size, and then hopefully we're good to go then. I think I'm just gonna work with a 5.5mm hook. That way it might be kind of a big hook for some of the smaller yarns, but then for the bigger yarns it should be good for draping stuff. So let's just go ahead and roll for our first color so that I can kind of like get the setup out of the way, and then hopefully it's smooth sailing from there. Alright, so here's our color palette all lined up. I don't know, I always feel a little like iffy, and I'm always like unsure of how it's gonna look, and then I usually end up liking the final product, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's the same for this. So we're just gonna start from the back and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have my D8 right here, handy dandy, keep that on me, you know, and let's roll and see what we get. Alright, starting off with 3, that is this light purple color. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read the pattern and figure out how to start off, and I'll be back once I have my first row done. Okay, so here's my first row, and I've been thinking, I'm worried I'm gonna run out of yarn. So I think that I'm going to make the front panel and the back panel at the same time, and then in order to kind of like try and avoid running out of yarn, I think I'm gonna do every other row in white. I think that's a good plan. I don't know, I think white will kind of go with these colors. So yeah, we'll do every other row in white because I would hate to use like a significant amount of this and then not have enough for the sleeves. I think also I'm going to do kind of something similar that I did with my scrunchie bag where I don't repeat colors until I've used every color, and then we'll repeat colors. So yeah, that's gonna be my plan, I think, because I would hate to run out of yarn and then not have enough. And this is a Pound of Love by Lion Brand, so I have a lot of this exact white yarn, so I think that we should be fine. Yeah, that's my plan. Anyways, here is what the first row is looking like. It is wavy, it is gravy, and I like it. Let's just move on. Well, now I'm like, should I do... I changed my mind. I'm not gonna do the front and the back panel at the same time. I think it'll be cool to have them look different, and I think that we'll be conserving a lot of yarn by doing the white in between every row. I'm still not going to repeat colors until I've used every color, and all right, changing my mind. We'll see, maybe I'll change my mind again, but for now, that's gonna be my plan. All right, let's roll for the next color. Okie dokie. 6. Boop, 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 boop. I even tried to separate these two because they're the same texture, and I still got them back to back. Funny how that works. All right, that's how we're looking. Kind of interesting so far. Okay, anyways, let's roll. 2. We got this chunky perp. The chunky perp. Oh my gosh, this cake is kind of a disaster. Whose fault is that? It's mine. It's my fault. Well, well, well. It's not the consequences of my own actions. Look at that. Wow, we are quite purple so far. It's giving grape jelly. I just ate an Uncrustable, so. All right, let's roll for our next color. 7. Boop, boop, boop. Wow, we really are just gonna do all of the purple colors. Not what I expected at all, but I guess you never really have expectations for these videos, huh? They never really go how we expect. Oh, this yarn is a lot thinner than I remember. I already know there's gonna be so many ends to weave in with this project. Okay, I'll be back. Here we go. I was gonna say let's throw in a color that's not purple, but we don't have any purple left, so that's it. We just did all the purple. Unless we get the variegated yarn, because that has some purple in it. Kind of wild to me. All right, let's see what we get. Watch it be the variegated one. 1. Green. I like this green. This a nice green. I realized I unintentionally picked very spring colors. It's like a spring sweater. I didn't mean to do that, but it works. I'm not mad at it. It is spring after all. Honestly, I just picked my favorite colors. That's so cute. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. All right, let's roll again. 8. Variegated. I am very interested to see how this yarn works up. I love the color. Gorge. All right, confirmed. I love the yarn. Get it change from my favorite color to my second favorite color. That looks so cool. I really like it. Let's roll again. Okay, so really we only have 4 and 5 left. We've used everything else. We got 5. So we got this green, which means I know my next roll has to be the yellow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and knock these next colors out, and then we'll have a bigger panel. And then I'll come back and then we'll start rolling again. You know, I don't really know how big I want it yet, but I think it'll probably end up being like 3 repeats of color. I really like how it's looking though. The green and the purple, that's a vibe. Not usually colors I wear. Well, I wear a lot of green, but the purple's kind of new, but I like it. I'm not mad at it. The yellow's random, I will admit that, but we'll see how it looks. Look at that! We are cruising. Wow, look at us go. I think it's looking really good. I'm excited about it. Kind of surprised with myself. I'm going really fast. But yeah, this is zooming. Zoom, zoom. All right, let's roll. And now we can start repeating colors again, which is super exciting. We got a fresh new palette. 3, oh my gosh. No way. It's like deja vu. All right, that's what the dice said to do, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's roll again. 8. It's a variegated. Pretty. I need to use more variegated yarns. Whenever I use the variegated yarn in the Coliseum crop, it made me so happy. It's so beautiful. This one is definitely like a slower color change than the Red Heart Stripes was. Oh, I forgot to do the white stripe.
Oh my God!
Okay, I'll be back. That's better. It really does kind of look like we are following a pattern, like color pattern, but we're not. Well, obviously we're not. You know that. I know that. But like, kind of looks like it. But anyways, let's roll. 1 green. There's a way to break the pattern. All right, everyone, it's a new day. Here is what that color is looking like, and I'm ready to roll again. 7, maroon. It is so nice out today. I took the cats outside and they were loving it. I have to take them out one at a time though because they are chaotic. We have a fence, but there's like little holes in the fence. If we're not careful, even Franklin can squeeze through. He's a little chunky. Don't ask me how I know Franklin can squeeze through. So yeah, they gotta go outside today. They are happy boys. I think they'd be happier if they were still outside, but I can only watch them for so long.
Wow.
Okay, I was working on this and then I got up to go get a peanut butter and jelly and I came back and I was like, oh, it's done, let me film my update, and it's not even done. I pressed record and then I panicked because I realized I didn't really have anything to say, so here you go. Okay, now I'm ready to roll. Let's do it. 6, magenta. Hello, it's later. There's that. Look how good this looks. Oh my gosh. Love. Okay, let's roll. Okay, so we have purple, kaboo, and yellow. Those are our remaining options. 4. So we got yellow.
Yeah!
Ta-da! Alright, we only have 2 colors left. We have green kaboo and we have the purple acrylic. So I'm gonna roll and see whichever one I get first, and then I'll just go ahead and do the other one again, and then we will meet back up and be able to do a whole other repeat. I think that the 3 repeats should be a good amount. I might do more. Maybe I'll do two more repeats. I don't really know, but I really like it. 2, which is the purple. So I will go ahead and do the purple, and then I will do the green and then show you what that's looking like. Hi, it's a different time. Here's what it's looking like. I mean, I think it looks really good. I'm just worried that maybe it's a little boring. What do you think? I think I'm gonna do one more repeat, and then I think it's gonna be a good length after that. I've done 32 rows. I think the pattern calls for you to do 31. Okay, it says to do 33 rows, but I do think I'm gonna want it longer than that. I don't know. I'm gonna play it by ear. I'm so indecisive right now. Let's just roll and see. So we're starting afresh. We're starting anew, so it can be anything. Alrighty. 4, yeller. Cheers to that. What do you think? All right, let's roll again. 6. This yarn is going a long way. I feel like I've used it on so many different projects now, and I still have a decent amount of it. I don't think we're gonna use it all in this project, although, just to say, okay, so I'm not gonna do the back panel symmetrical to this. I'm gonna roll whole new colors for that, but I'm debating for the sleeves if I should do those symmetrical or not, and I kinda don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna do those different too. So I'm gonna stop blabbing because that means this is probably gonna be a long video. All right, here we go. And guess what? I actually just read the pattern and there's neck shaping on this. Yeah, I need to like read patterns ahead of time so I kind of know what I'm doing. There's neck shaping, and so we're gonna make like straps, I guess. With that being said, I think it's a good length now because I want it to like sit below where my necklace sits. Okay, like that. So I'm gonna make like decently long straps. So that means that the panel is a good length for me right now. So we're not gonna do any more panel length. We're just gonna do the neckline shaping, the straps. Okay. I gotta figure out how to do it, but let's roll for the color. And then, do I make them symmetrical? Yeah, I'm gonna make them symmetrical. So let's roll. 2, perp. All right, let me figure out what I'm doing. All right, here we go. I did it, and I did both sides. All right, I'm going to have so many ends to weave in. All right, let's roll for our next color. 7, maroon, woo. Note to the editor, cut that. Woo! Okay, let's roll. 1, green. Okay, there's that. And I think that we have just done 5 of the 8 colors, so I think I'm just gonna do the next 3, and then that'll be it for the straps, and I think that'll be a good length. So that is convenient. It's like I knew when I was picking out the colors. I was like, I need 3 multiples of 8 to have the perfect length. I had no idea. I'm gonna say I did though. We have light purple, green kaboo, and the variegated left of our repeat. So let's roll. 5, kaboo. Honestly, look how much of this kaboo we've used. I hope we have enough for the rest of it. All right, here we go. Don't mind that, it's fine. So we just have either 3 or 8 next, and then I will just go ahead and do the last one, and then we should be done with this panel. So that's exciting. And then we'll move on to the next panel. All right, so let's roll. All right, so 3 or 8. Oh, 8. Alright, so I will just go ahead and quickly finish this up. Then we will be back and we'll start on our back panel. So that's exciting. Alright, here is where we are at with the first panel. I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? I think it's fun. I think it's funky. I think it's fresh. And I think it's time to roll to see what color we're going to start with for the second panel. And then maybe at some point today I will feel the motivation to weave in those ends so I don't have to do it all later, but who knows. Anyways, let's roll. All right, second panel, starting fresh. What color are we gonna start with? 6. We got this magenta. Looking a mess. All right, the first row is gonna take me the longest, so we'll see if I get to any more today. Who knows? I'm unpredictable. Surprise! Did leave my house for an extended period of time. It is starting to get dark out now, so we don't have that much time left to roll, but we have enough time to roll for our next row at least. So let's do that. Alrighty. 5, green. Voila. Big fan of the magenta and the green together. I think that looks very nice. And let's roll for our next color. Are you ready? 2, perp. This video feels a little disjointed. It's because I've been working on this sweater for a few weeks now. I've been really busy and I keep picking it up, doing like a couple rows and then doing something else. Hello? But today I'm hoping to crank out quite a bit of it. This is going to be Franklin's coming and going. This is going to be my primary focus for the day. Hopefully we can crank out quite a bit of this back panel, right, Franklin? That's the goal. That being said, I am going to work on this. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Nice! This is giving kind of Powerpuff Girls a little bit because this is like a bluish purple and this is like a pinkish purple. No? Okay. Alright, let's roll. 4, yellow. I love this yarn. I feel like I say that every time I work with it, but I truly do. I truly do. There we go. Got some yellow thrown into the mix. Looking good. What a variety. Love it. It's not like the other one. We did like all the purples and then we did all the greens. This one we're doing like every other different thing going on. I like it. That's kind of fun. Okay, anyways, let's roll. 8 are variegated. We are on a dark purple color for this. You even see it's kind of an interesting yarn. I feel like a lot of it is kind of gray vibe, but I do like it. It is dark though. It's like a dark aesthetic, a dark mood. Like there's areas in the yarn that are lighter. I'm just maybe on a dark patch right now. I don't even know if I'll get to these like lighter colors if I'm being honest. This is a fun yarn though. I do like it. I have like a different skein of it, but not in the same color. So I was kind of wondering what I could even make with it. It's a little like variegated in thickness. Oh, that really darkened it up. Variegated yarn is so fun because it started off as this gray purple and then started changing to this red purple color of a grape. Yep, that's how variegated yarn works in case you didn't know. It really darkens it up though. But anyways, I'm gonna roll for our next color. So we got 1, 3, 7. Oh, 1, green. Yeah, it's like going back and forth, green, purple, kind of. I mean, there's a yellow in there, but. Okay, this is definitely giving grapes. Now we got the green grape and the purple grape. And now I want grapes. The sun's starting to come out at a weird angle, so we might have to take a break. It's weird sun angle time. Okay, but let's roll. 3, purple. All right, I'll be back. I did go ahead and do the last row in the berry color because that's all the colors we had left. So now we're ready to start a new repeat. This is what the first repeat is looking like. Maybe a little unbalanced. There's such limited colors that it's kind of like just gonna look like a hodgepodge of the same colors. I don't really know what I'm saying. I think that the bottom half was stronger than the top half turned out. I don't know. But we will just go ahead and roll, and we're starting fresh with the colors, so exciting. 4, starting off with the yellow.
Wow.
Ta-da! Shall we roll? Oh, it looks so nice out. Maybe I should leave my house. Let's roll. 6, magenta. I'm fine. Onward. Oh my god, this skein is a mess. What did I do? Where's the end? There's this end, but I think that's the end. Oh, nope, that is the middle end. Okay, no, we're good. Stop worrying. It's fine. Everything's fine. Ah! My partner was talking about making a catio today. If you've ever made a catio, do you have any tips? We rent, so we can't do anything permanent, but we really want to make one. Ta-da! You know, this magenta and the yellow is actually a surprisingly lovely color combination. I don't know if I would have ever put these two colors together, but it's got me thinking about colors I might want to use in the future. Anyways, time to roll. One, sage, one of the best colors of all time, if I do say so myself. Ta-da! I need to stop saying ta-da. That's like becoming a catchphrase at this point. I'm done with that row and I'm gonna roll again. I've been watching Grey's Anatomy and it's so good. Thanks to Michaela. Told me to watch it. Anyways, let's roll. 8. Variegated time. Starting to lighten up. In case anyone's curious, I am on season 2, episode 4 of Grey's Anatomy. I'm watching it for the first time. I cannot stop. Okay, that's it. Look, it started turning green again. That's so fun. We are getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We have 4 more colors and then 1 more repeat, and then that repeat, the last repeat, includes the straps. So, let's roll. 3, lavender, let's go. My neighbor has a chainsaw and I was just crying just a little bit. Okay, but here's where we're at and I'm ready to roll again. 7, okie dokie artichokes. This is gonna be our last roll of this repeat. 5, I'll be back. There we go. 2 repeats done. Honestly, same but different, right? I did 2 colors of the 3rd repeat before I started the straps, so let's roll. Love starting fresh. Oh, that was a 1. Sage, do you think we can finish this panel today? Honestly, maybe. Maybe we can. Guess we'll have to see. You'll know very shortly. I will know by the end of today, I guess. Okay, this will be the last roll before we do the straps. 3, light purple. Got the same type of yarn as our last. Whoa, actually, wait, check this out. This is kind of wild. So the first panel, we started with the light purple and we ended with the magenta. And they're the same yarn type. And then this one, we started with the magenta and we're ending with the light purple.
Wow.
I love stuff like that. Fine, okay. All right, I am prepped and ready to start our first strap. And both straps, I'll do both straps at the same time. But let's roll for what the color will be. 5, olive. This is a very intense episode of Grey's Anatomy right now. I know that probably some people don't really care, but it's the episode with the train collision. Season 2, episode 6. That's all I'm gonna say. We got the beginnings of a strap. Let's roll. 7. You know the drill. The drill is that I'll be back. Yay. Okay, we have 4 more colors left. So let's see what our next one's gonna be. 6, magenta. We're almost there. What are we gonna get next? Let's find out. 8, variegated. This is how sucked into Greys I am. I just started doing a second row in the same color. Okay. Time to pick the next one. All right, so we have yellow and purple left. Oh, that was a 2. Purple. All right, so I will do this purple and then I will do the yellow and then I will be back and I am going to think about how I want to do the sleeves because I'm still not sure. Because right now I'm thinking, here, I'll just talk you through my thought process, right? This is the color I'm most concerned about. This one, we are starting to dwindle quite a bit. What I'm kind of thinking is for the sleeves, we do them at the same time, but we do them separately too as well. So like they're gonna be different, but we do them at the same time. So I will do like a repeat sequence of all 8 colors for the first sleeve. And then once I'm done with that, I'll start the second sleeve and do a repeat. So that way it's less likely we'll run out of a color on the first sleeve and we won't have that color for the second sleeve at all. Does that make sense? I'll show you what I mean, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. So that way the sleeves will be different, but they'll have the same opportunity of color. Okay, I'll be back. Hello, I just wanted to show you I have both the panels done. So here's the second one that we just finished, and then here is the first one. So they probably to you look exactly the same because they kind of do to me, but they're different. So I think it's turning out really cute though. You'll have to let me know what you think. See, same but different. I have not woven in any of the ends yet. That's gonna be a task for future me. Yeah, that's what we're looking like. And now I'm gonna go ahead and figure out the sleeve situation. I'm gonna pull up the pattern. Okay, the sleeves are kind of very similar to the body panels. So we are gonna pick a color to start with for our first sleeve. Let's see what we get. 8. We are starting with the variegated yarn. Very interesting, very interesting. I don't know, is it that interesting? Probably not. Probably not that interesting. Okay, now I need to count. I will be back. Okay, here we go. And don't hate me, but I changed my mind again. Honestly, I don't know why that would make you hate me. I think that'd be really silly if that's what made you hate me, but I decided that I'm going to do both sleeves the same. So I did. Look it, this is cool. This one's like green and this one is like purple. Also, the yarn got like almost black there. It's like black licorice. But here's what I'm gonna do differently for the sleeves. I'm gonna do them both at the same time with the same colorways, but I'm gonna just like repeat colors as I roll them. I'm not gonna do like the color sequence that I did the first time. So whatever I roll is what I'll do. But I'm just gonna do them both at the same time because I think it'll be easier for me mentally. I like doing the sleeves at the same time if I can, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the sleeves at the same time, and look it, they're already different. I'm frogging this one. So let's roll for our second color, and if we get the variegated yarn again, then so be it. That is what the dice want us to do. All right, what's it gonna be? 2. Purple. Let me know if you would have done it differently. I don't know. I just kind of make things up as I go. That's probably pretty obvious to you. I'll just be winging it. Also, I cut my hair today. Can you tell? Probably not. I haven't changed my hair in years. And I cut my hair myself at home. And it's always the same technique. But I kind of want to like change it up a little bit. I don't know. Will I? Probably not, but I want to. Okay, anyways, I'll be back. Here's one, here's the other. Looking good. Let's move on. 5, olive. I hope that we use this yarn up. I mean, we've used quite a bit of it, so I think it's definitely a possibility. Stay tuned. Got my green and purple bacon strips, and we're ready to roll. 2, got purple again. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Perp again. Well, look at that. Let's roll again. 4, yellow. Finally, something that's not green and purple. I think that yellow will be a great change. Okay, be right back. Here's how we're looking. How do we feel about the yellow? I like it. Look at, we're making a dent in that too. I feel like I've used this on quite a few projects and it is lasting me a lot longer than I anticipated. Let's roll and see what color we get next. 1, green. And let's move on. 2 again. These are gonna be very purple sleeves. Okie dokie. It just started raining. Roll time. 8, variegated. This yarn's fun on the sleeves because it keeps them from being totally the same. We're done. Here's the difference. Oh wait, it's backwards. That's pretty fun. We're gonna roll. 3, lavender. First time getting this color for the sleeve. How fun. Time to roll. 6, this ugly skein of magenta yarn. Okay, I'll be back. Yay, this is where we're at. Look at that. Time to roll. Whoa. 3, lavender again. I should probably seam up the panels so I know exactly where they're gonna sit. Like, is it gonna be right on my shoulder or is it gonna be slightly drop shoulder? I don't know, I should probably figure that out, huh? But this is like the length that we got so far, so we still have a ways to go. I'm hoping to get a decent amount done on this today, so I should stop blabbing. I have a very noisy bird that lives outside my house. Of course, as soon as I call it out, it doesn't make any noise. Okay, well, anyways, I finished that row. I'm liking it. I like this boing, 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 boing. Kind of similar to this boing, 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 boing down here. So that's really fun. And now we're gonna roll. 4, yellow. It's so nice today. I wish I could bring roll for scrap outside, but I feel like that would be a hassle. So I'm going to just take breaks to go play in the sun. Look how cheerful. Time to roll. 5, green. I think that's a good look. What do you think? Oh, you know, just my new accessory. Okie dokie. It's getting longer. Probably not that much different than the last time I showed you. But I did go outside. It was nice out. I was right. And kind of wish I was still outside. Might go back out. I don't know. But let's roll. 2 perp. Okay, you heard the dice. Sorry if this video is boring at all. I feel like sometimes I don't really know how to make it entertaining and then I just ramble. So hopefully you enjoy my random ramblings, and if not, I'm sorry, I guess. Let's move on. For yellow again. Really hope that we use this up. At the same time, I don't, because I do really like this yarn, but all good things come to an end. Okay, I'm just showing you one because at this point they're basically the same except for the 2 rows. Time to roll again. Surprise, surprise. Were you surprised? Well, you shouldn't be because we've been doing that this whole time. So get it together. Come on. 1 sage. Every time I cross my fingers for, I don't know, one of the ones that are dwindled. We just haven't finished a single ball yet. My goal is to finish 2. I think that's a good goal. I think that we can finish the yellow and the green. Oh, I don't know though. Is that wishful thinking? These aren't sleeves yet. Well, they are. They're not long sleeves yet. So we definitely have some time. And we make increases soon. So speaking of, I should probably check on the pattern at some point. Sometimes I'll just be doing my own thing and I forget that I'm following a pattern. Okay. Anyways, look at how bright and cheerful that looks. All right, let's see what we get next. 5 olive green. There's not that much left of this, so we'll see. I mean, we're gonna have enough for this, I'm pretty sure. But then I don't know if we'll have enough after that to do another row. Only time will tell. Hi! You would have no way of knowing this, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Anyways, this is what our sleeve is looking like. Sleeves, they both kind of look the same. And we're gonna do one more row before we start our increases to get like a flared look. Let's roll for our last normal sleeve row. Roll, row, roll, row. Saying that back to back, like let's roll for our row, is very challenging for me. Anyways, let's roll. 7. I just realized we've used every color in the sleeve except for this. So this is our first time using this, and then we will have used all the colors. I found it interesting enough to point it out. Right, here is what that is looking like. And also I decided I hate this yarn. Okay, I don't think I hate it, that's kind of a strong word, but it's kind of frustrating to work with. It gets so like stuck to itself, you see that? And very easily tangled, and I don't mind tangled yarn all the time, but when it's constant, I do mind it. Kind of hoping that we don't get that yarn again. I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing with it in the future. I don't know. Anyways, I started doing the increases now. So it's gonna be like a flare moment, and let's roll for our next color. 1 sage. I got a couple comments on one of my roll for scraps. I think it was the first one I did with the scrunchy bag, with people saying that they wanted to see more of the process of me making the pieces, which is totally fine and I can do that. But my issue is it would be such a long video. It would be such a long video because I have to show you every roll. You know, that's kind of the point of this. So even just showing you every single roll when there's like this many color changes, that itself takes a while, as you can probably tell by the length of this video. Not to mention anything else I end up rambling about, which is the whole fun for me. So obviously I want the video to be fun for me. Like I said, I don't mind showing you the process of me like actually making it, maybe with like montages, I think is maybe what they meant. But it will be a very, very, very long video. So let me know your thoughts on that. There's only a couple of people who commented that they wanted to see the process of it. Yeah, like I said, don't mind doing it. That would be like a movie length video, like an hour and a half, I feel like. It'd be very long. Just let me know. Let me know your thoughts. There is what that's looking like. Here is our length so far. See? What does that put us at? Like 3 or 4 more color changes? That's not too bad. I mean, the sweater has taken me quite a bit of time, so it feels good to be close to the end. I like how this looks here. This purple grouping, and then now we have like kind of a green grouping. I like that, and now it's time to roll again. We got 8, so we're gonna use the variegated yarn. Here's a little sprinkle of montage for the people who asked. All right, we're done with that. Here's the first one. Goes from the green to the pink. It's so cute, very much love. And then here's this one. It also kind of goes from green to pink, but it's a lot darker. Very cute, very cute. Let's move on. What should we get next? Or a yellow. Is this gonna be the end of our yellow? To be determined. It's possible. All right, y'all, we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Kind of hard to tell. Also, there's so much of the yellow we have left, so more than I thought. Let's roll. 8 again. Variegated. We're gonna have a variegated sandwich. Or wait, the variegated would be the bread, so I guess it's a yellow sandwich, which doesn't sound as cool. I have Eminem stuck in my head. Specifically a part that I can't say on YouTube, but it's the song Rain Man. If you know, you know. Alright, here we go. So here's the first one. Interestingly, the row that we did before in the variegated yarn is also quite dark. And this one came out quite dark too. And then look at, in contrast, these rows kind of came out the same. Isn't that weird? Wow. And I don't know, like, if I did this one first and then that one. I did this one second the second time, but yeah, that's quite interesting. So you can kind of see how the yarn goes back and forth between the light and the dark. All right, you know the drill. It's time to roll again. I was just thinking this video is probably going to be quite long. So if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me while I make this groovy sweater. But it's taken me quite a long time to make. I don't know even when I started it, but I feel like I've been working on it for weeks now. And yeah, it's just taking me a really long time. Kind of goes back to me talking about how I know I don't really show you a lot of like the actual process of me making it. I'm just showing you kind of the in-between and the progress and everything like that. Because if I showed you footage of me actually making it, I think this video would be very, very long. It's enough to have my blabs. But if y'all want me to post just like videos of me crocheting, I can do that without talking. I guess I could do that. Just let me know. Let me know. Anyways, let's roll. 1, we got sage. Oh, also I wanted to show y'all because I don't think I've showed y'all at all in this video. I think I showed you at the beginning how big of a ball of white we were using. Well, here it is now. It's very overexposed right now. Not a lot left. Not a lot left of that. I'm pretty sure I have more of the exact same white acrylic. We have more white acrylic, but I wasn't expecting to go through all of the white, I guess. I am happy we supplemented with the white though, because I think it kind of gives like a cohesiveness to the top. Good decisions. Also, going back to how long this video is, I'm glad that we made the sleeves the same. Otherwise it'd be even longer. Unless y'all really want a long video, because I guess I could do that. Anyways, I'm gonna stop lapping now so it doesn't become even longer. And I will be back. I should probably start weaving in my ends soon. Yo! That's a future Killian problem. Okay, there we go. Lots of sage going on. I like how it's looking, but let's roll. 4 again. Yellow. I think this should be enough. We'll see. I said this last time, that it might be the end of the yellow. I'm not very good at gauging these things, clearly. So we'll see. We shall see. Y'all, I was just reading the pattern, as I probably should do, and I just realized this is our last row. Like, literally the yellow is the last row, because we don't do another white row after this, according to the pattern. So I'm gonna do this row, and then I think I'm gonna assemble it, and if I decide I want to add length to the sleeve after that, then we can do that. Sorry I didn't give you any warning that that was our last roll before I did it. I didn't know. I knew I was going to a certain number of rows, and I should have checked what row we were on and counted them before I did anything, but here's our first sleeve all done. I still have to do the second sleeve, but it seems like I probably could go longer, but I also think that after I steam it, it will be a good length. I don't really know where it's gonna fit because I haven't assembled anything yet, so I am just kind of going off the pattern, and then I'm gonna assemble it and then steam it, and then you know how these things go. Franklin needs attention right now. Okay, anyways, that's my plan. I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright everyone, what do y'all think about the finished sweater? I really, really like it. Okay, I went through phases with this sweater, alright? Like, obviously I picked the colors at first, loved the colors at first, right? Green and purple are like my favorite colors. But as I was making it, it's very spring, no? Like very spring, very like Easter. And I wasn't sure that was my vibe. But as I'm like wearing it and like seeing myself in it, I'm like, actually, I kind of like it. And I feel like I could wear it to a lot of occasions. I'm pretty proud of how it came out. I think it's a lot of fun. The one thing I will say about this sweater is I definitely made my neck hole too big, so the shoulders slide off. That's my mistake. It was not the pattern's mistake. So I just added a little chain in the back to hold it up, and it works really well. I don't think it's too distracting because it's like such a dainty chain, you know? And yeah, it holds it up. It keeps it on the shoulder, off the shoulder vibe now, you know? And I made the length perfect for my necklace. Overall, I'm very happy with how it came out. I love the sleeves. It's like the perfect amount of flare. The yarn is very comfortable. And yeah, overall, I think it is a great design. It's very comfortable, very cute. I think you could do a lot of fun things with this. You could do like a monochromatic vibe. You could make pride sweaters. I feel like this would be great for Pride Month. It's not too hot because it's kind of holy, so it's like that nice in-between seasons, you know? Of course, I went ahead and made Maple her own. I definitely need to rework hers. Like, the sleeves are a little tight and she's being a little squeezed right now. It's not her favorite. I had already assembled the sweater before I made sure that the sleeves would fit her, so getting it on was a struggle. I think getting it off is gonna be a struggle too, but I mean, I had to twain with my girl. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think about the sweater. Would you ever make a wavy sweater? I know there's tons of patterns out there, so I'm sure you could find something similar. I'll try to find similar patterns in the description and I will put them down below if I find any. And if Brooke ever releases this pattern, I will put that in the description too. So if you're watching this in the future, maybe check that out and see, because I can't tell the future. For yarn usage, I am kind of shocked. We didn't use up any skeins of yarn except for we did use up the white. So we used every last bit of white from that big cake I had. I even dipped into another white skein for Maple sweater. So we used all of the white, which is an accomplishment in itself. We're so close. Unfortunately, we have this much left of the yellow and we have this much left of the green. So those are the only two that were like kind of close. The rest are, they're getting there. They're getting there. So I definitely think that if I would have used a little bit less color choices, I could have used up more yarn, obviously, but I wouldn't change anything about how I did it because I really love all the variety of colors that are in this sweater. I think it's so fun and I had a lot of fun making it. So that's all that really matters, right? We're gonna continue working towards our stash busting series and continue to do fun projects that are going to bust some stash. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on the finished sweater and let me know if you have any other fun scrap yarn ideas that I could try. Yeah, if you want, you can follow me on my other socials. It's at Viney_Maple, which is the same way it's spelled here. I will see you over there and I will see you in my next one. Bye! By the way, this is how many yarn scraps came out of that sweater. Jeez Louise, mac and cheese.